What is a home, right? This is an interesting concept. I think I have been thinking a lot about this since I started traveling. I've been traveling for almost 2 years, and I've been to more than 10 countries since I left Brazil. And I'm from Brazil, of course. Um, and it's hard to find yourself in a home when you're traveling, when you're constantly moving, when you're not staying in a place for long. I stayed in Thailand for 6 months. That's kind of long, but while I was in Thailand, I would move to different cities as well. So creating my own home in one city was pretty hard. I would say that only Chiang Mai was the place that I got closest to living in a home. But still, I think I haven't had a home since, I don't even know. It has been a long time. Even when I was in Brazil, I don't think I was living in a home. Even though I was living with family, I didn't feel home. That didn't give me the feeling of being in a home. I was in a house, I was in a residence. And don't get me wrong, I love my family. They are amazing, but I didn't feel home with them. The last time that I felt home was in Argentina. It was my first trip alone abroad. That was before I left Brazil. Uh, it was another trip, not the one that I am now, this long journey. And I remember that I stayed in Buenos Aires for almost 3 months. I had a home there. I definitely had a home there. And you might think, wow, but that's such a short period. How can you create this feeling towards a place that you were staying in a foreign country with no friends or family? I don't know. But that Airbnb was an Airbnb that I booked and that I stayed for over 2 months, almost 3 months. It was my home. Whenever I arrived in that place, I would just become calm. Everything there was extremely taken care of. I loved to take care of that place. That place was impeccable, always neat. I loved organizing every single square feet of it. And I would cook every day. I would have my own routine with my own rules. I would invite people whenever I wanted. I ended up meeting people while I was traveling alone in Argentina, so it was great, this privilege to be able to also invite people there. You know, that was my home, even though it was a short period. So sometimes I would imagine, does a home need to be a long-term thing? Well, I think it helps because you create the connection, towards a place. You create this connection with a place during a certain period of time. I think considering a place a home in 4 days or a week might be quite hard. It might happen. You might feel extremely comfortable and safe and also familiarized with the place in a few days. But I think the longer you stay, the more memories you have with that place. I think you can rekindle those moments more fondly, right? Or at least with more intensity, just because you had more opportunities to interact with that place, right? I don't know how the outer factors also impact the concept of a home. The neighborhood that you're in, the local establishments that are around, the way that you interact with the neighborhood. Does this also contribute to your concept of home? I don't know. I would assume so. I don't know. I would like you to share as well. I have been receiving some interesting comments from people that I don't know. I think that's the beauty of YouTube. Like, I have received amazing positive comments and shared experiences, so I appreciate that. If you could share, what do you consider a home to be? What is your perspective? I would love that. I would love to learn from you. I think we can all learn from each other here. I am not a guru, and I'm not more experienced than anyone. I'm just taking the action of talking. So if you could also share, I would love that. Um, Especially because I haven't actually defined what a home is in my perspective. It's a difficult concept to understand, you know. I've been thinking a lot about it, of course, because I haven't had a home for such a long time. You know, traveling and solo traveling can be quite harsh, can take a toll on you, right? Because you don't have a normal routine. Even though I'm working remotely and I have my responsibilities, I don't have a routine per se, right? In terms of I know where I'm gonna be next week. No, right? I stayed in Vietnam, for example, for 3 months, and in the span of 3 months, I traveled to 12 cities. I crossed the whole country from south to north by train in Vietnam. I didn't have enough time to create the concept of home or to feel that I was home anywhere there. The closest was the city of Guignon, which is it's not a touristic city, it's quite small, it's in the coastal area, lovely place. I booked an apartment there for over a month. That was the closest that I got, but still didn't feel home, right? It's a very particular feeling. There were places that I stayed a week in that I felt more home than, for example, this one that was over a month. So it's not exactly about the period of time that you stayed there. I think a lot has to do with safety, with comfort, with allowing you to do the things that you like to do on a daily basis, like maybe a normal body weight exercise, a place in which you can read comfortably, a place that you can just take a deep breath, meditate. I like to do breathing exercises. Those are my personal, those are the personal activities that I would consider to be important in my daily basis. And if a home, or at least, an accommodation can provide me that would make me feel closer to the concept of home. I think not having a home can take a toll on you. Not having a place that you know exactly how it's going to be. Not having a place that you feel exactly safe. A place that you don't know what might happen. A place that you cannot do your normal daily basis activities. I love cooking. I need a kitchen with at least a good stove. I don't need a microwave, but I need a good stove. That's important for me. I cook. I love cooking. It's part of my routine. So the apartment that I stayed for 2 months in Chiang Mai, in the north of Thailand, there was no kitchen. I love that place. I love the neighborhood. I love the price. But I didn't have a kitchen. That would never be my home, because I need a kitchen. I think playing a song in the background and cooking in my own residence is very important for me. That makes me feel home. Growing up, cooking was a big part of my family culture, so I need to cook. And also it's cheaper, right? I am in London now. If I don't cook, I'm screwed, because eating out is extremely expensive. And you're not gonna have healthy options, right? If you're cooking, you can control everything that you're consuming. So yeah, cooking is good. Some people love gardens. Some people love yards. I don't necessarily care about it. Some people love to have at least a balcony. I think that's pretty good. But I would like to know about you. What do you consider a home to be? And I would love to, see your opinion. Please share with us so we can create a community here and talk about it. If you're traveling alone, I hope you can feel home wherever you are. If you are in your hometown and you're not in a place that you consider to be home-like, I hope you can eventually find yourself into a home. I hope you can discover and explore a new place, because sometimes we can be in our hometowns but not actually feel home, even though it's hometown. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you can share your experiences with us, and yeah, have a good one.